Hi, welcome to week 4, Green River students. This week is all about teaching content through music and movement. So I will be sharing some videos of songs that I have used in the past to teach various topics, and you will have the benefit of all of my many years of research. So you're welcome to it. So I'm happy to share it with you. So I'm going to give the lecture that I would have given had we been in class. And so I'm going to be talking about how using music and movement to create retention in children's memory is a very smart way to educate. So if you can find a song that will teach whatever it is you're teaching, you have mastered half the battle. So let me start off by telling you, you guys probably all know this song, but never on earth would I have ever been able to remember all of the names of our 50 states in the US in alphabetical order, no less, unless I had learned it through a song. And you probably know about the Nifty 50 song. If not, it'll be in one of our videos. But once I learned this song, then it was easy. Well, why? Integrating song with content area learning has a long history. In the 1800s, lessons in mathematics, history, science, geography, and language arts were regularly reinforced with songs. We all intuitively understand how the ABC song demonstrates the effectiveness of music. So using the ABC song to teach letters has been done for centuries. During tonight's class, during our virtual class, we will be learning how to use it even more effectively, because I have a slant on it that isn't the names of the letters, but the sounds of the letters. So it takes out an entire section of decoding for our little students. So instead of using the name A, we use the short vowel A. So music can create and activate prior knowledge. Prior knowledge is a very important part of teaching. You need to make sure that children have a base with which to use to stick more things onto. So the prior knowledge portion is hugely important. We learn more effectively when we already know something about a subject. Even a little knowledge about a subject will make it easier to acquire and digest new information on that subject. Prior knowledge provides hooks on which students can attach new material. When students are able to link new information to the old, they show increased interest in a subject. They can learn with a sense of purpose. Music is a great way to provide this base of prior knowledge that's so critical to learning. For instance, after singing songs in Spanish, an English-speaking child will start to recognize words as he studies Spanish language and culture, increasing his ability and interest. Music can be used to provide an introduction to and stimulate interest in subjects across the curriculum. As one's base of prior knowledge grows, interest and learning become easier, and a positive cycle is established. The use of music in the classroom is consistent with theories of multisensory learning. Cognitive psychologists have confirmed what educators have long known, that we have a variety of different but mutually enhancing avenues to learning. Music is one such avenue. Research suggests that the more senses we use, the deeper and broader the degree of learning. Teachers are encouraged to use auditory, visual, kinesthetic, and tactile modes to supplement the learning experience. While music is obviously an auditory activity, the kinesthetic, visual, and tactile modalities can be activated via clapping, dancing, and instrument playing. Music can help focus a learner's attention. Again, research is confirming what intuitive teachers have always known, that music can function as a mnemonic device to aid recall of information. Just as we might use the expression, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, to jog our memories, we can use songs to augment our recollection of facts. It's easier and a lot more fun to rehearse songs than text. That means by then reading books. I don't want you to think, when I use the term text, I don't want you to think of texting like on your phone. That's not what I mean. Music and songs stimulate creativity and foster a positive attitude towards school, don't they? Yeah. Many teachers shy away from using music in their classrooms because they presume that they need musical training to use music as a teaching tool. I'm trying to break down that barrier with all of you because you do not need to have any musical training at all in order to do the things that we're doing in this week. There are so many ways to implement music in the classroom that don't require any training. In the early grades, transitions can be a little bit harder to set because the students are still learning what the concept of a minute is and what one feels like. A song can improve transitions because it becomes a behavior cue. Remember when we talked about Pavlovian response? Students grow accustomed to the length of the song or part of a song and internalize the time they have to move on to the next task, which helps them to begin to take responsibility for their own learning. Many of us know that music will get you up and moving. Using songs for movement is a great way to provide students with a brain break, especially in the younger grades. There are so many resources already available to help create educational brain breaks that don't disturb classroom management, such as Go Noodle. So if you go there and check that out, gonoodle.com. Students with physical impairments can benefit from listening to music because doing so helps with concentration and will influence their movements. Smooth movement will result in movements with a flow, while fast dance music will cause jerky movements. Social and emotional skills are learned every day by students as new scenarios present themselves. Try teaching them skills through songs that they already know. Like an example of Hokey Pokey, you can take the lyrics and change them and teach the children how to calm their bodies down. So here's an example. You take a big breath in, you take a big breath out, you take a big breath in, and again you let it all out. You can focus on your breath, you can learn to calm down. That's what it's all about. As educators, we want to appropriately challenge each student and encourage higher order thinking while meeting the state standards. Music is one tool to engage each student and provide a pathway for connections and deeper understanding. Songs are essentially poems and have a lot of meaning packed into few words. Questions arise as to what the author means. Students' own experiences are considered from the perspective of that meaning, and this helps to create an environment where students will want to share what they are thinking and why. This leads into a personal drive to do research to understand what the author is referring to in the lyrics. And we're talking older grades, of course. History is a great subject that can be taught through music. In fact, in our school this year, we are learning about westward expansion and the Lewis and Clark expedition, which started westward expansion. And we will be learning a bunch of songs for our Lewis and Clark musical. And I'll share a couple of them with you in our videos. Woody Guthrie is a great songwriter who wrote about the Dust Bowl. So if you're trying to teach about that part of history, go check out his songs. Math. What about math? Can you find songs that teach math concepts? Yeah, of course. Mathematics can be challenging for students to understand because the concepts can be so abstract unless you're in a Montessori classroom. But if you are using music to teach concepts, well, that makes it go by much more palatable, much more easily digestible to students. Here's an example too. Musical notes can help teach fractions. You can change instruments, but playing the same song can help teach patterns. And using pitch can help with frequency and ratios. I mean, of course, this is again in the older grades. What about science? Can you learn science from songs? Yeah, of course. One of the beloved musical groups that has done a lot of science songs to cool music, and it's for children, is They Might Be Giants. Have you ever checked out a They Might Be Giants CD? Check them out. What about literacy? Literacy improves when a student is able to pick up on the patterns in the structure of language and is able to differentiate between pitches in words that sound similar but have different meanings. Music can be utilized as a metaphor to explain elements of a story such as character, setting, conflict, and resolution using melodies, instruments, tempos, and dynamics as the teaching lens. What about having to buy a bunch of materials for your classroom? Well, you can do things on a dime. And I've shown you a few ways that I've just created my own materials and used inexpensive ways to achieve the same goals as if you had expensive materials. So here's a few ways to bring music into your class at little to no cost. Create a CD or playlist of songs to use for motor skills, academics, or relaxation time. Make instruments out of recycled materials. A guitar can be made from a cereal box, drums from cans and plastic bottles. There's a website called KinderArt. It provides simple yet creative ways to make instruments that can also be used to discuss cultures. And Music in Motion, a website, provides a great list of instruments that you can make from recycled materials, or you can buy from the website. Clapping, snapping, tapping, whistling, humming, and stomping are great ways to make music. You can find out a few more ideas simply by using the checking out the musical Stomp. For example, the part of the show in which clapping is the main instrument is a really cool way to bring that concept to children. Let's see. Yeah, so then I'm going to sign off by just saying that if you are teaching anything, whether it's about leaves or plants, other plants like flowers, or animals, or water, the earth, space, our planets, literally anything you can teach through songs. And because we have the World Wide Web, we have internet now, you don't have to do what I used to have to do, which was just scour and go to conferences and write things down. And I used to listen to other teachers sing songs, and I would record it on my phone, and then I'd play it back bit by bit, and I'd write all the lyrics down, and I'd have to memorize the tune by playing it and singing it over and over in my head. Well, now you teachers, you future teachers, are so blessed because you can just YouTube it and Google it. You have a great gift in that. So this week is all about music and movement to teach content, and I want you to take a look at our videos and enjoy. All right, thanks.